So today I thought I would talk about gaming backlogs and like literally how bad they can be and how bad they can get. In particular, mine is pretty horrific, to be honest. Now I've got games here. They're games that I got through job lots and stuff like that. But I thought it would be more of a fair sort of thing. Basically, just to go through the ones I'm will actually attempt to play through at some point in the future. Some of these I've played through in the past, some I haven't, whether it be on different platforms, or the variations of ports and stuff, and some I've never played or touched before. Variation of old to new. Some games I had no idea what they were about at all, particularly on PS3. And that's a bit of GoldenEye footage for you. So yeah, but I thought this would be an interesting little video, just to demonstrate how bad backlogs can really get. And this is, mind you, this isn't everything, but this is just physical more than anything. Not too loud. Don't know why I turned that up so much. Anyway, we will start off with old school stuff and then we'll go from there. So in particular, we'll try and start off with the older stuff and the newer stuff. So Golden Axe. Now I've played through it on this on numerous collections at this point. A ridiculous amount. I've only got no manual, unfortunately. But I've never cleared it. Never. Even on the collections when I played with friends and stuff, I've never, for some reason, ever cleared it. It's one of the only ones on Mega Drive. The other ones I've done variations of I've cleared variations of bits on them and stuff. PS3, Red Dead Redemption. Sadly, it got sun faded, as you can see. That's the Game of the Year edition, which is also now available on. Oh, hello. What's that? It's also available on the modern platforms now, PS4, PS5. E.T. Oh, I did a video on that once. Did quite well actually as well, surprisingly. But that's the one with the DLC. I've played through it. I think in 2009, 2010 I played through a bit of it, but I never ever cleared it. And I haven't even played Red Dead 2. So, Metal Gear Solid Guns of the Patriots. I've cleared it. Not this particular version. I had a different version. I had this slip sleeve cover. And for some reason I sold it and then decided I wanted it again, so I bought it again. But Guns of the Patriots, I imagine, will be available on the next Legacy Collection or Volume 2, sorry, for Metal Gear Solid. So, but it's a bit of a mixed bag, Guns of the Patriots. The Shadow Moses segment is brilliant, very nostalgic, and just really cool. I've cleared it numerous times, but again, it's one I've had in the collection for a long time. Another collection of Metal Gear, on top of the other ones I've got as well. Not much to say really. I did stream Sons of Liberty, Metal Gear Solid 2 at some point. But it's just been in I bought it on PS3 years ago and it's just sat in my back collection. I really don't have any real needs really to sort of play it, given the fact I've got the other collections, but it is quite a sought after collection now. There is a PAL release, as I said before, as well. So there's that for you. Yeah, so then we'll move on to PS1. I wanted this just for nostalgia's sake. Original Metal Gear Solid. This is the Platinum Edition. I've shown this off before, but it's pretty minty. Very nice. I'm actually ironically stuck on the torture section on the Volume 1 collection. I just can't hit the circle button hard enough for some reason. So that's a bit of a weird one, but nostalgic and awesome as always. Dino Crisis, you can get this on PSN now. I think I've cleared this once in my entire life, and the second time I played for, I streamed it on through Twitch. This needs a remake, Capcom, or a new edition. Come on. Excellent game. Second one's really good as well. Very different game though, the second one, but harder than Resident Evil, I would say, particularly with the different card types they've got. Jedi Power Battles. Never cleared it. I've shown this off before. This was re-released recently, or earlier this year on Xbox. I don't know if it was on PlayStation as well, but very, very glitchy game, but a game I do really, really like, even though it's got a lot of graphical glitches and stuff. Again, Platinum Edition, Resident Evil 2. I really don't want the Platinum Editions, I really want the Black Label Editions, but I've said this before in other videos, and that's not supposed to happen. But other than that, it's in pretty minty condition. I have cleared this one numerous times, but again, I thought I'd just demonstrate how bad the... Oh dear, that's bad. The collecting bug has kind of bitten, and you can waste numerous amount of money. I love Resident Evil. I do not like this copy of Resident Evil. It's a Platinum one I got off eBay, and it's tragically bad. The manual's all stuck together. It's disgusting, to be honest. Disc is okay, but again, it's not. I want the director's cut at some point, but I've cleared this a couple of times. A long time ago, but I have cleared it. Only Xbox One game I've got, Hogwarts Legacy. I've played a little bit of it. Never cleared it. Yep, and it's got the disc. You don't get many discs with Xbox now. That's something I will say. The next load of games are games I can't actually play because the 360 won't play them. I've shown these off before. Defender won't run unless I get an original Xbox. Not something that I'm bothered about, if I'm honest. It's just a job lot of games I got, like the ones I kept. I kept a few, not many. It wasn't something I was really that bothered about either way, but I thought I'll keep a few. Well, there were a lot of scratched up ones as well. So there's that one. Fireblade, again, can't play it. No idea what it's like exactly. Looks okay, but will I ever play it? I'm honestly not sure. The original Xbox doesn't have that much appeal to me, to be honest. Now if Xbox were to make everything backwards compatible, then great, but yeah, I can't see it. Tomb Raider Legend, get this on HD Legacy Collections, I think on PS3 and 360. Can't play this version because the disc is scratched beyond belief, but I kept it because the case is in good condition and I can just swap out the disc maybe at some point. Again, never played it. Maybe. I really don't know. Fable, The Last Chapters, which I think this was re-added in with another collection on another disc at some point. I assume this is like a director's cut of Fable. I've never been a particularly big Fable fan, but this does, I think this does run on 360, if I'm remembering correctly. But again, another one of my pile of shame. One I probably won't play, if I'm honest, but I'd like the proper thingy case, not the classics case, but beggars can't be choosers. So this won't run. Robotech Invasion. It won't run now anyway. Disc isn't in the worst condition considering, but I've never played it. Oh, that's because the disc holder's broken on it. Great. No idea if it's worth a penny. I don't imagine it is, but yeah, won't run on my 360. Chronicles of Riddick, again, came with a job lot of games I did a couple of years back. Kept this one because it's actually quite a good game. From a lot of the fanfare I've read about this online, very, very impressive first-person shooter. I think this runs on the same engine as the Doom 3 engine. I might be wrong about that, but it's very, very similar. One I might try at some point, but again, it doesn't run on my 360, so I suppose I could get an Xbox One emulator. The Hobbit, I've played the EA Lord of the Rings games, Two Towers and Return of the King, and my favourite being the Battle for Middle-earth, the EA on PC, but this again doesn't run on standard, doesn't run on 360. As I said before, I think it needs like an update that it can no longer download or something to that degree. That is a better representation of Gollum than the Gollum we got from that game that came out last year. Was it this year? Pretty dreadful. But so I have no idea about this game at all. It looks kind of artsy-fartsy, but it's not really a great description, but again, I can't run it, so until I get an emulator or an original Xbox, I cannot play it. The Xbox Ally that's just come out, it would be nice if with the next Xbox, although from what I've read, it's going to be like a hybrid PC and it's going to be very, very expensive. If they were to make all Xbox games backwards compare everything, for original Xbox 360, Xbox One, obviously the Series stuff, then that could be kind of cool, but given what they're quoting for the price, about $1,000, I mean, these are rumors at this point, but they're talking about an Xbox hybrid console. I don't know how that's going to work. We'll see, I guess. But again, Commando's got quite a bit of memory with the original PC games. They were challenging games. This is like a first-person shooter. But again, I can't run it because I unfortunately haven't got an Xbox 360 that will play these. I don't know if some will and some won't. I don't know if you have to have a certain update, but won't run, and it's not Series X compatible, so I can't really do anything about that one either. Now, I do have Splinter Cell on PS2, I think, as well. But there are some differences in terms of the port, and obviously the Xbox is a substantially more powerful system than the PS2 in a lot of ways. So there are some differences in terms of cut content, extra levels, I believe. But again, I haven't played this. This does run... Why is it upside down? Don't know why it's upside down, but it is. This one does run on... it's me. I'm an idiot. This does run... No. What the hell? Weird. Okay, I'm going mad. This does run on 360, I believe. Splinter Cell has been pretty dead for years now. From Ubisoft, a company that... let's just say, if your Xbox is dead, you ain't seen nothing. It's in Ubisoft. They don't seem to produce anything that anyone's that interested in, apart from the last game I heard they made that made any dent was it Assassin's Creed Shadows or The Division 2? I don't know. I'm not a big Ubisoft fan these days, to be honest, but they have made some great games in the past. But again, I've never cleared it. This one is True Crime, original Xbox game. This is supposed to be really, really good. But again, haven't played it. I'm not sure about the condition that disc's a bit rough. It might be able to be buffed out. But I've heard very, very positive things about this. Kind of like very similar to GTA, but with some differences. But again, never played it. Right, on to PS3. Homefront. This was a very, very popular, in terms of its the fanfare they were talking about. It didn't do that well, I don't believe, but it's an underrated type of game. I think it's about North Korea invading the US or something. Yeah, but never played it. Physics by Nvidia as well is ironic, but yeah, it's an interesting one nonetheless. Maybe I'll play through it one day. I'm not a big fan of... Well, let me be real. The reason I'm not a big fan of the PS3 is because the HDCP for recording of it is an absolute twat to deal with. It's beyond annoying. I know you can bypass it to some degree with a HDMI splitter, but it doesn't always work. That's why I always wonder if there was a way to bypass it through a jailbroken PS3, but I haven't actually tried, and because it's hardware based, I don't believe it will work. Quantum Solace, I've dabbled in the... I think this was on Wii. I remember playing... I think this was on Wii, if I remember correctly. Multiplayer was pretty janky on it, if it's the same game I'm thinking of. But I've never played it, so... It's a weird one. I might have to try out. Mafia 2. This is a very, very popular game, from my understanding. Again, I've never played through it. I'm not the biggest fan of these types of games. I don't know, they just don't hold my attention. It's the type of game where I just jump on and screw about in the town and stuff, but you know, so. But this is remastered, I think, as well recently. 1, 2, and 3 on everything. So one I'd recommend. Maybe I'll play it one day. BioShock. Played the first BioShock game. It was a good game, but it never really held my attention. I don't know why, because the atmosphere and the world is really, really interesting. The second one you play as a big daddy, but as I said, I've never really played it. And I've dabbled in Infinite once or twice, but maybe one day. You know, as you can see, my backlog is mental, and these are just the auction lot ones. Right now, I'm gonna probably get shit for this one. The Last of Us. I've never played any of the Last of Us games, and this is the original. This game's been remade or remastered and then remade like 17 times. PS4, I think it was remastered on PS4. Then did they remaster this? The second one came out on PS4. Then they remastered and then they remastered this. Then they remade this. It's like, Jesus Christ. And I don't know. I like the Uncharted games. They're really, really good fun. And apparently you can play it. I can play this right now on PS5, the remastered remade edition, if I want, I believe. I don't know. After Uncharted, I kind of went off Naughty Dog for some reason. I don't know why, because they're a really, really good company, but I don't know. I heard rumors they kill off Joel in the second game, and I don't like when you kill off good characters and replace them with, from what I've read, bad characters, but I can't, or less interesting characters. It kind of reminds me of, and I can only speak from what I've heard, so maybe I'll dabble with it and try it sometime, because, you know, everyone raves on about it. But it when they take a really good character, kill he or she off, and then replace it with another character, and just for that emotional punch, it kind of reminds me of when they, and this is going to really date me, if you've ever watched Sliders, it was on in the 90s, and they killed off the professor, who's played by the chap who does Gimli in Lord of the Rings. They killed him off for a really hot chick, who at the time I thought was really, really cool. But when I went back and watched it many, many years back, it was the exact opposite of what I was thinking. But as a teenager, and then as someone who's 40 this year, there is a big divide and difference between what appeals to you when you're young and then what appeals to you when you get older. Call of Duty Ghosts, no idea on this one. Played Black Ops 6. It was fun for the time I played with it. You know what, to be honest with you, I don't mean any hate towards Activision or Call of Duty, but if Call of Duty disappeared tomorrow, I couldn't care less, to be honest. It's just generic and boring at this point. This one is getting up there in price. I've had this many, many years. Never cleared it. Wolverine Origins. It's on 360 as well. I would imagine I think it's on PC. I don't think it is. This one I think is about £40 to £50 now, if I'm remembering correctly. Ironically, the game is better than the movie. The one that got leaked all those years ago, 2009, I think it was. So this is one I'd recommend. But again, haven't finished it, so there's that. But it's well worth it. Okay, now we're going to move on to PS2. Right, Silent Hill 3. I've loaded it to test it works. It runs. It's in good condition. Case is a little bit squashed. Or the actual thing, but I never did finish 2. I got stuck between the school. Was it between the two buildings? I can't remember. Something like that. But I'm glad to have it. This is getting up there. I think this is about 40-50 quid now, maybe more. I got this for, I think it was 35 or something in that range, I believe. Maybe one day. I didn't even finish the remake, so. Right. Next, Max Payne. Never played it. Played the second one, I believe, on PC back in the day. Is it Rockstar? Oh, it's co-published. Yeah, but Max Payne is one that's pretty good. But again, I've not touched it because it just came in that auction lot of games. Time Crisis. I like the first Time Crisis, the one that was on the PS1. Obviously, nowadays you can't really play these on modern TVs. You need a CRT or a think it's an adapter or something you need. But I don't know if I'll ever play it, honestly. Maybe. So here's the Splinter Cell PS2. There are some minor differences, as I said, some level differences and stuff. I don't know if I'll ever play this. I may one day just trade these all in. It's in good condition, but I've not really ever touched it. They just sit on the shelf gathering dust, to be honest, which is kind of sad. But there's just too much choice. Second site, I was curious about this because it's Free Radical, which I believe is the same company that did Time Splitters. I think. And it was published by Codemasters. So I've heard some interesting things about this one, but again, I've just not touched it. Hitman, never played a Hitman game. I like Metal Gear and stuff like that, as I said, and Splinter Cell. I've been told that it's kind of a hidden gem, Hitman. Particularly the more modern ones, and obviously these have all been remastered, a lot of them, I think, since 2000, that's 20 years, Jesus. No, sorry, 21. This is one I might actually try for a video sometime, because I have heard very, very good things about Splinter Cell, Jesus Christ, about Hitman. They look fun, and a good laugh, but maybe one to do on a Let's Play at some point. Devil May Cry, original price, that's $43 now, that's kind of expensive. The precursor to Resident Evil 4. I don't know, I don't really enjoy these types of games. I've been playing through Metal Gear Rising, and I'm finding that really, really frustrating. It's good in some aspects, but really, really frustrating at the same time. So, there's that one. Splinter Cell Pandora tomorrow. I've never once used NetPlay on any of these types of games, ever. Particularly on PS2. It's kind of the last system I got before I went on to PC. But it could be good, but I don't know. It's just one that came in the job lot. Zone of Enders, unfortunately this doesn't work. The disc on this doesn't work. It doesn't function at all. I've tried cleaning it. Zone of Enders was, didn't it predate? It's got a playable demo of Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. I think most people just got it for the demo for Sons of Liberty, from my understanding. But unfortunately, I'd like to get a disc for this, because the case is in really good nick. I still think PAL PS2 discs look, as in the cases look shite. To be honest, I just think they're just so bland. Same sort of thing, I guess, the Master System suffers from, but they had some creativity with them and stuff. So, but get a replacement disc, maybe I'll play it one day. Jax 2, I'm not a platformer guy at all. These are available on HD remasters on PS3, I believe, and they're quite expensive. I think they're about 50 quid, some of them 40-50 quid. Doesn't interest me, to be honest, but I know there are people that love Jack and Ratchet and Clank and all that kind of stuff. It's just never appealed to me. I don't know what it is about them. It's just I don't know what it is. If I actually loaded it and tried it, maybe, but again, it came in the auction lot. And then the one that I wanted, and I still want File 2, but I've got to replace this because the disc that this came in, the case is good, the manual is good, but the disc is absolutely scratched to hell, so I need to replace that. I've loaded it to try it once, and it works, and it does, apart from it stutters because of the scratches, I think, and that's my PS2 lens on the disc drive. Still, a weird Resident Evil game, but as I said, needs a replacement disc. But I might do a video on that one day. It's kind of an interesting one. Okay, Nintendo Switch. Sparks of Hope. I've played this once or twice, I think. It's kind of like XCOM, but with Rabbids characters and Mario. It's okay for what it is. It's not something I've played enough of really to try, but it's a good kids game from my understanding of it and stuff. Maybe one day. I haven't switched again. I went through phases. I haven't switched my Switch on in a while. So, Mortal Kombat. It's Mortal Kombat. Good fun. Played through it one Christmas. It runs better than the latest one on Switch one, which ran like shit. It looked like shit as well, to be honest. So, but this is one of those weird ones. It's just a download. It's just a download code. There's no game, so I kind of hate that. I hate if that's the future. Tears of the Kingdom. Still making my way through that. That's brilliant. Yeah. Link's Awakening. Not finished it yet. Maybe one day in the far future I might actually finish it. But beggars belief, to be honest with you. Okay, next is the one that came after that, which was Echoes of Wisdom. I've loaded to try it. I've not touched it yet. I think I know I did the first bit just to try it out, see what it's like. Runs on the same engine as Link's Awakening, but again, haven't played it properly yet. And then the other one I was going to get on Wii, and I thought, sod it, I'll get it on Switch, but I got this second hand off eBay for about £25, £26. Skyward Sword. This is one of the lesser rated Zelda games from my understanding, but again, I haven't played through it as of yet. But I've got a lot of Zelda now, a ridiculous amount of Zelda if I'm honest with myself, as you'll see in a minute with the next one. But yeah, I'm curious about this one. Very, very curious about it. One that I probably shouldn't have bought, because I'm an idiot. This went for about £100 on. It's going for about £100 plus on eBay, or 70 upwards to over 100. I got this for 65, I think it was, and that's Minish Cap. I've shown the thing before. It's in reasonably good condition. I've loaded it to test it works on my Game Boy player. Looks kind of interesting, and I believe this one was made by, was it Capcom? Or was that another one? I'm not 100% sure. I just sworn it was Capcom, was it not? I can't remember, but yeah, one I really, really want to play at some point, but God knows when. As you see, my backlog is just a joke. Ocarina of Time. I've played the N64 one to death. Awesome game as always, but I've never properly played Fizz apart from to test it works. I've got issues. Yeah. Next one. Link Between Worlds. I've played a little bit of this. I've ripped most of these to my 3DS because apparently some of these games are starting to fail. Apparently, which is it kind of sucks given they're not even they're about 10 years old at this point. But another one. I've shown these before. My diamond's pretty iffy. I've had to clean the contacts on. I think about halfway through Pearl. It's good fun for what it is. It's Pokemon. It's certainly better than the modern crap they're producing now. But I will finish that at some point, definitely. Just time, I guess, more than anything. Okay, a really old one. I've played through it but never cleared it, and this is the copy I bought off eBay. Case is a little bit manky, but it's not too bad. It's just one of the classic ones. Super Mario 64. I adore Mario 64. I think it's easily the best Mario game, although a lot of people now, younger generations, will probably say Galaxy. I haven't really got my head around Galaxy yet in terms of like the upside down stuff and that, but brilliant nonetheless. I swapped this one out because I broke the case on the other one, so this is in a brain training case. Phantom Hourglass, I've loaded up, and that's about all I've done with it. Wish my camera would actually focus, but again, really, really cool. I've got majority of the Zeldas. A couple I haven't got, a few minor ones to still get my hands on, but generally, and this follows on from Wind Waker, but again, I haven't played it. Next one, Spirit Tracks, which is a follow-on to Phantom Hourglass, which was a follow-on, well, a sequel to Wind Waker. I adore Wind Waker, if I'm honest. It's one of those. It's got a really amazing art style, and as you can see, very, very interesting game. I may one day actually play it. Luigi's Mansion 2, ironically, this got a port to the Switch recently. I've loaded it to try it out, and that's about all she wrote. Pretty good from what it seemed interesting and stuff, but I haven't even finished Luigi's Mansion on GameCube, I don't think. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. These are all getting up there in price now, these games. Again, I've played maybe half of, is it Sapphire? But I've not touched these remakes yet. Again, I've ripped them to the 3DS, so at some point I can actually play them. But yeah. Expensive ones starting up there in price. And speaking of expensive ones, these two were pricey. Black and White. And Black and White 2 are even more expensive. These are about 50 quid each, I think. I will make my way through the Pokemon games at some point. I've got enough games here to just to play till death, retirement and death, the way things are going. But yeah, interesting. So I've even got a guide for these I've shown off in another video as well. Right, moving on to Castlevania. And the good thing about DS and 3DS, particularly DS, is that you can play any regions. That, from my understanding, they run anything. So I've got Dawn of Sorrow, which I think is a sequel or follow-on to, is it Aria of Sorrow on Game Boy Advance? So I still need to rip this one to my 3DS. I haven't done that yet. And the other one was Portrait of Ruin. This is the American. You see, the case is a lot more sleeker on the American ones. And as far as I'm aware, it's the real deal. I checked the thing that seems real, but again, I haven't played it. But yeah, so I've got shite ton of handhelds. Right, this was expensive. This was about 70 quid, I think, or more. White 2. I don't know if they came with manuals. The manuals don't seem to be very thick on these. I don't know. It looks legit, and I've checked it's legit, but I think it's legit. Not 100% sure. Yeah, I think it is. But this was expensive. This was about, I think this was in the range of 70 quid. But again, I still haven't got Black 2 yet. Maybe I'll get it. I'm honestly not sure. But it's a good game from what I've seen in the first one, but I've yet to play it. Right, so now we move on to more Game Boy Advance stuff. Metroid Fusion. This is the American version, and I had to check that it was legit. But I believe it is. Yeah, it's got the Nintendo thing. You won't be able to see it because my camera never focuses. But I think this one came in about 60-something quid or something. No, it might be less than that, saying they're both 35. But I haven't got a case for it, so it just came in that, basically. Pokemon X, Pokemon Y. Haven't really touched them yet. Loaded up to test them. I've ripped them. That's basically all I've done with them, really. But yeah, a couple of Pokemon games to still get: Soul Silver and Heart Gold. Was it Black 2? And then there's the Moon and Sungers, but I really didn't like the Moon and Sungers. I dislike the fact there's no gym leader and stuff. These ones I've shown off before. Haven't finished it yet. Sapphire. And Four Swords. And that's the really old stuff. So before we move on to PS5 stuff. Now these ones, some of these I have played and cleared. Resident Evil 4 GameCube. I've cleared this on GameCube. I think I've got this on Xbox Series X. I think I bought a version of it on there for some weird reason. I'm not really sure why. Code Veronica. Got this on the collections, which are now on. No, saying that Resident Evil 1, 2, and Resident Evil 1 Director's Cut 2 and 3 are on PSN, but I've also got this on PS3, PS2, no, PS3 via the collection. PS3 via the digital collection, and I've also got it on PS2, and I've got ports of this as well. There's different. This is weird. There's different versions of this game where Claire looks different depending on the size, depending on which version you're playing. It's a weird one, but I've never cleared this one. I've cleared RE4, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. I've got it digitally. I still want it on PS1 at some point. Sadly, this one doesn't have the manual. As I said before, I think this is the superior remake compared to the superior game compared to the remake. Although the remake has its merits, this is the better game easily in most aspects. Resident Evil 2, I've already shown it off on PS1. That's where I cleared it on that many years ago. Would have been when I was at school. Jesus, I'm not old. Jesus. Resident Evil 2 is amazing. What can you say? Probably the best remake ever. Well, at the time it came out back in 2002. I remember watching this on a DVD with a friend, and we saw this in comparison to, and we adored the original Resident Evil, but this one is on another level. It's absolutely incredible. And then it took them 20 years before they did another remake. Although my understanding is this didn't sell that well either. And I've even got some... What's that? A piece of paper there. With some puzzles and bits on it. But yeah, possibly the best remake. Bought it, started playing it, never finished it. I don't like the wolf segments in a game, but my brother has told me that it does get better. Just persevere with it. So I will go back to this one at some point, definitely. I want that HD port of this for Switch or even Switch 2, but at the moment it doesn't seem like that's ever going to happen. Nintendo are the only company where you'd have to like knock on their doors and say, excuse me, but Nintendo always sort of go to the sound of their own drum, I guess you could say. So they do things when they're ready. Same with HD port for Wind Waker. I'd like to get my hands on that, but hasn't come out. Metroid Prime Corruption, as I've said before, never played it. I've also got Wii Fit Plus in there. Checked it worked. I assume this will probably get ported to Switch 2 at some point, sooner or later. It's just a matter of time when. Same with the second game. Haven't played it. It runs. I've tested it. Had it a few years now. I need to get these games played before they stop working. Metroid Prime 1. This is kind of redundant to get this version now because you can get the Switch remaster. And the controls are kind of weird when you're having to aim the gun. You have to hold the trigger in and stuff. But it's still well worth trying out. And I think one of them is compatible with the Game Boy Advance version as well. So there's some special bits you can do on that. Wind Waker. This is the 2-disc edition. So you've got your Wind Waker disc, and then you've got the Ocarina of Time, which has got the Master Quest version as well as the normal version. This is one that's getting up there in price. Last time I checked, it was about between £35 and £50. But one I would definitely recommend getting. I don't think I've ever finished Wind Waker either. I've got far on it, but I don't think I've ever actually finished it. This one was really disappointing. Especially particularly I got a manual. Star Fox Adventure, I could take it or leave it. This just wasn't that interesting. This is apparently a different game, and they've just done what they did with Mario 2, where they've just stuck Star Fox into the game without skins. But it's not an expensive one. It's about, I don't know, what, 20 quid, maybe less. I can't remember the price of it, but it's I didn't think that much to it. This is an American Canadian version of Star Fox Assault. I thought this was going to be amazing. It's okay. I must, as I said before, I do like the GameCube games. The American ones on Canadian ones look really cool compared to the PAL ones. I love the fact that the thing's down there. Yeah, it's cool. But it is a bit of a disappointing one. I prefer Lilac Wars or Star Fox 64. I've got to the end of it, never finished it. Luigi's Mansion, one of the first GameCube games I ever bought when I started recollecting. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I haven't finished it. I played it about 3 or 4 years back. Got, I think, up to the baby bit, and then I had saved it, never played it again, but that's one I probably will go back to. Mario Sunshine, you can get this on that collection, that limited collection that Nintendo put out a few years back. It's hard to get. Well, if you're prepared to pay a premium, you can get it, but it's more of an expensive one. Definitely on the weaker of what I'd class as Mario games that I really, really like. I still prefer Mario 64. But I don't know if I'll play it. Maybe. It's just not that appealing compared to some of them. And then we'll go to the more last load. Cowabunga Collection. Ended up buying it on Amazon, I think, in the end, because of all the mess around with CX, I think, a few years back. It's just a collection of turtle games. It's fun. It's good fun for what it is. Those fighting ones are flipping hard. Like, they're not fun in the slightest. They're really, really ridiculously hard. But it's only like 20 quid or less, something like that. Shown this on off before, the Metal Gear Collection. All 3 Metal Gear Solid games are on there, but this one doesn't have Peace Walker on it. That's why the other collections might make more sense, but obviously it's going to be easier to play this particular version. And speaking of that, Delta, which is essentially just a Metal Gear Solid 3 remake with running in a new engine. It looks amazing. But I'm not sure. It's good to have a more modern version of the game, but it feels kind of pointless in some regards. I don't know why. But it's still good nonetheless. Okay, so next up is another backlog game. I have cleared this. I bought this on PC when it came out back in 19, I think it was. Resident Evil 2, but I wanted a physical edition of it. And they've been re-releasing these all on PS5. Sadly not manual, but of course, how modern gaming is. The remake's really, really good. I haven't bought RE3 remake yet because I was quite disappointed in the game in terms of the length and in terms of the amount of content that was cut. But I've played for it before. Resident Evil 4, again, I've cleared this one on. I bought it when it came out on Steam PC. I also played through the Ada DLC, which was actually quite difficult in places. I got stuck on a couple of the bosses for a small amount of time, but I wanted the physical edition, so I bought it a while back. I'm an idiot, I suppose. But I've cleared it on PC. Sonic Origins. Why did I buy this one? I've got so many different Sonic collections. It's ridiculous. I've got 2 digital ones on the PS5, Series X, which is the same version. I've got the Classics collection, Plus on Xbox. I've got the there's a version Mega Drive Genesis / Genesis Classics on Xbox 360, and this it's cool. You know, you can change the cover. It's just all the games. There are some music changes, I've said it before on this one, due to the whole involvement with Michael Jackson at the time. But I've cleared these once, twice. I've also bought the physical Sonic 3 on Mega Drive, which I've shown off a few times. I'm still on the hunt for Sonic and Knuckles, but it's one I'm going to have to wait on, I think, at the moment, because I've just sort of transitioned to a slightly different job. So, yeah. And now I can't get the damn thing back in again. But I always jump back to Sonic at some point. It's kind of the same with Mario. It's just a comfort type. It's like a comfort food, but it's really, really good. And it's a stellar collection. And it's also got the it's got the Game Gear games. I never understand why they don't add the Master System versions of Sonic 1 and all that, but I don't know why they do it. That's just they do. System Shock. I've shown this before. I've been playing through this a while back. I've got maybe midway through if I'm lucky. Really, really good. Really goddamn hard. This is an old school game in terms of its sensibility and its difficulty. It's really hard. And really goddamn creepy. not in the type of way of like Alien Isolation creepy, but it just makes you feel really, really off-putted by the creepy ass aliens and cyborgs. It's just weird. It's got a really odd atmosphere. There's the second one is that as well. That wasn't remade though, I believe. But one I will definitely finish. Another one I haven't finished, Silent Hill 2 remake. I've got up to, I think, the puzzle room I'm stuck in last time I played this. They've done a fantastic job with this remake. I still would like to get a copy of the original at some point, but the PS2 version I think is about 80 plus pound now, depending on which version you want. But I will finish that at some point. I bought that recently. I've just shown off already. Spider-Man 2. I'm really enjoying Spider-Man. I enjoyed the Spider-Man. I really enjoyed Miles Morales, and I'm really enjoying this. It can be challenging at times, some of the fight sequences on it, but it's good fun, and I will definitely finish that. This one's a mixed bag. Rita's Rewind. As I said on the previous video, I've enjoyed it, but I did have a few complaints about the difficulty in terms of like ramping up on certain boss points, and the Zord fights aren't as exciting as I'd like them to be. But it's still like a 6, 7 out of 10 game. It's still definitely a good representation of the Power Rangers. I hope they do another one. Maybe I'm a sucker for these types of games. And I've also got another one I haven't got yet called. It's on Wii. I come across it. It's a beat 'em up. It's called Batman Brave and the Bold, and it looked kind of interesting on Nintendo Wii, which is a system I don't have that much sort of fanfare for, I guess you could say. But it looked interesting. It's a side-scrolling beat 'em up. In the Batman universe, but it's like a really different sort of like campy 60s style thing from, I think it's that, something like that. But it's very campy and it looks very cartoony, but it looks good fun. But yeah, that's not all my backlog, but I'm not going to show the rest because I'll be here all day. Those are ones I will actually at some point attempt to play through. It's pretty bad, to be honest. My Steam stuff, I've got Steam games. I've got other games as well that I've played through once at some point. But yeah, those are the ones. Oh, and I've got Turok 2, but it runs like shit on N64, and I haven't got the memory expansion, so it's not a pleasant experience to play through. But maybe the remasters or something. But yeah, those are the ones I want to play through at some point. God knows if I ever will, but. So that's my pile of shame. Yeah, it's pretty bad, to be honest. But I'll leave it there. I hope you found this video shockingly informative, or, yeah. I'd love to hear any comments about what you've got, and that doesn't, as I said before, that doesn't include digital stuff, which I've got on PS5. I've got Death Stranding 1 via PSN, Final Fantasy 7. I want that physical at some point. The remake. There's a few. There's so many. It's ridiculous. God of War Ragnarok, God of War Ragnarok, and God of War, the first one. I think the PS4. They're all on PSN that I want to play for at some point, but I just ain't got the time. And I'm very particular. Sometimes I get to point, oh, what game do I want to play? And I end up playing nothing because I'm so ridiculously spoiled for choice. And it's kind of a first world problem, I guess you could say. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'll leave it there. I've rambled on for too long. And please, let me know what you're playing through, what your backlogs are. Hell, show your backlog. I'd love to see it. Is it as bad as mine? Is it worse? Is it good? Anyway, I will leave it there. And thank you for listening to me ramble on, as always. Peace.